A couple years ago, I thought the best way to get more done was just to sit longer at my desk, push through and grind harder. But the truth is, the single most powerful thing I've done for my productivity, my energy and even my health was as simple as walking. Before, I was tired, I was drained and I had migraines basically every week. Now, I have clearer thinking, better sleep and more ideas than I can even keep up with. So in this video, I want to share how walks went from something I ignored to the reason I've actually been able to finish projects and feel more alive every single day. When I finished high school, I realized that I was literally sitting all day. And I was basically only getting like 2,000 steps each day, which is not good. And this kind of led me to having migraines, headaches, poor sleep, and really nothing felt that fun. And the only time I actually got things done was when I had my kind of morning energy. So I had like 2 or 3 hours in the morning where I would work on my game projects. After lunch, that energy faded and I had no energy to actually do anything else, which usually meant I defaulted to things like YouTube or playing a game. And at the time, I was also watching all these podcasts. We had Andrew Huberman and Diary of CEO. They all say that movement is good. That is very obvious advice, and we all know it, that we should be moving more. But it's way too easy to ignore in practice. Because when you start something like that, the wall you have to get over is huge. But every time you do get over that wall and that resistance, that wall gets slightly shorter and slightly easier to get over next time. And at some point, that wall is going to be so short you can literally just take a small step over it. So the real turning point was when I started taking these walks seriously. About a year and a half ago. It wasn't just because of the movement. From this podcast, I saw that you also gained benefits from being present and from being in nature. They boosted your productivity in a sense. So it wasn't anymore just for health, it was also for productivity and energy, which really convinced me that maybe I should be taking walks. So for the first few walks, it took a lot of discipline, a lot of willpower and a lot of pushing myself. At first it might have been draining, because I had to intentionally tell myself that now I'm going to go outside for 20 to 30 minutes and just walk, instead of watching a YouTube video or playing a game on my computer. But it really felt good pushing yourself. And being present really made you realize that it's actually kind of nice taking a walk. The realization moment of it all was a walk I took when I was about to get a migraine. And during this walk, the migraine totally vanished. It was like I had never had it. And when I got home, I was fine to work on something else. And not only that, because these walks really boost my creativity. About 50% or maybe even more of my ideas come from these walks, whether that's my game ideas or my video ideas. This idea is from a walk. And then also being able to break down these ideas during these walks for games and having a clear plan of what I'm actually going to do. So why should you take walks? Well, to be honest with you, walks are probably one of the biggest game changers I've done. First of all, the productivity boost it gives you is incredible. You have clearer thinking in the evenings and afternoons or whenever you take the walk. You get better ideas for games and videos or whatever you're doing, as well as being able to make clearer decisions because your brain is more clear and less brain fog. And with that productivity boost, you get more work done, which means that maybe you double your output, because you can now work in the evenings or the afternoons or the mornings or whenever you take these walks. Half of my work is done in the other half of the day after my walks. Like if I had a problem in the morning, I go for a walk, and when I come back, I usually have the solution for that problem. And not only that, about the energy and health it gives you. For me, it was fewer migraines, better sleep, and more stable energy. The fluctuations in energy really disappeared, and it was more stable throughout the entire day. Maybe that was because of the walks and the movement, but also because of the sleep. But I think one of the most underrated ones is the meaning it gives you. It's not just for efficiency, but it's also for feeling more alive. That means you can use it as a sort of reflection or meditation. For me, it almost became a sort of ritual. But you have to do it intentionally. You have to go in with the thought that, okay, now I'm going to reflect on this. Or I'm going to kind of be present and meditate, so I'm just going to focus on the nature or my breath. or if you have some sort of a game mechanic problem or any other problem, you can go in with the intention that I have this problem, let's see if I can come up with some sort of solution, and usually the brain can do that in just a 20 to 30 minute walk. The actual lesson I want you to take away with this video is that movement fuels the mind. And we hear that advice everywhere, and that advice is of course right, but it doesn't have to be that advanced. Taking a walk is infinitely better than doing nothing, because that advice only becomes powerful once you live through it. I've spent way too long not getting any movement at all. I was journaling and meditating, but taking out walks really took me to the next level. But I had to watch tons of podcasts and read books about it for me to really push it into my mind that I need to do this. And hopefully this video can shorten that time it needed for that advice to really get into your head. So if you want to be more productive and work better, I want to challenge you. Take a 20-minute walk today in the morning, afternoon, evening, whatever works for you, or maybe tomorrow. But do it either today or tomorrow. Best of luck, and I'll see you soon.